Hi, welcome to Henry Reads Books YouTube channel. Today we'll be reading We Belong Here by Frieda Wishinsky. Eve hated when kids at school called her a greenhorn. It was a mean name to call someone. So what if she was born in another country? She belonged here. They just like they did. She lived here since she was little. Her parents worked here in their store, Bloom's Delicious Foods. Sometimes kids laugh or pointed their fingers. Eve wanted to cry, but not in front of them. She only cried alone in her room or at the highest rock in the park. That rock was her special place. One day, a new boy, Mark Nakamura, came to school. Mark walked alone to his class. Other kids pointed and laughed at him. Later, Eve told Mark about her special place. The next afternoon, as Eve sat on her rock, Mark climbed up. Wow, you can see everything from here. I know, said Eve. I can see forever. For you, said Mark. A turtle? A turtle, said Eve. Did you make this? Yes, it's carved from wood. It's beautiful. From that day on, Eve and Mark climbed the rock together. At the top, they told each other stories. Mark told magical stories about turtles, cranes, and trees. Eve told scary stories about pirates and giant creatures. Sometimes they talk about their families, and sometimes they talk about how they hated being called names just because they came from somewhere else. Through the cold days of fall, the snowy days of winter, and the warm winds of spring, Mark and Eve played outside together. When it rained, they played Monopoly on an old table in Eve's parents' store, or checkers on the wooden table Mark helped his dad make for their apartments. You and your dad can build anything, said Eve. And your mom can bake anything, said Mark. Her Rugalesh pastries are the best. But one day, Mark didn't come to the park. Eve waited and waited. Where was he? He was never late. Eve couldn't wait any longer. But just as she scrambled down from their rock, Mark hurried to the park. He told Eve his dad lost his job at the factory. A customer didn't want a Japanese man to make his furniture. Mark's dad said they would have to move. I don't want to move, Mark said. You can't move, said Eve. You're my friend. Eve raced back to the store. It's not fair, she told her mom. Mark's dad lost her job just because he's Japanese. Now they have to move. I don't want Mark to move. But before Eve's mom could say anything, a customer reached for a jar of pickled beets, and a jar slid off the rickety shelf and crashed onto the floor. So did Miss Bing. I'm so sorry, said Eve's mom. You need to fix up this store, Miss Bloom, said Miss Bing. If you don't, no one will shop here anymore. They will go to that bright new market 2 blocks away. Eve's mom slumped into a chair. What are we going to do? Your dad can't build anything with his bad back, and I'm not good with a hammer. Mark's dad is, said Eve. Mr. Nakamura can build anything. That evening, the Blooms went over to the Nakamuras. Mark showed the Blooms all the beautiful furniture his dad made, and Mark's dad showed the Blooms Mark's sculptures. And as they drank green tea and nibbled on rugalesh, they talked about how hard it was to move to a new community. That night, the Blooms hired Mr. Nakamura. Soon, Mr. Nakamura has built a strong new door, a bright new sign, flower boxes, straight shelves, and a shiny glass case. Eve and her parents arranged all the jars, salads, breads, chicken soup, and rugalesh so customers could see each one. Oh my, said Miss Bing. Look at your store now. Yes, said Eve, offering a rugalesh fresh from the oven. That's because Mr. Nakamura can build anything. Miss Bing smiled. You're right, Eve, and I have missed your mom's good food. Wait until I tell Mr. White about the hardware store, about these nice shelves. And Lily at the dress shop, about our flower boxes, said Eve. And Mary at the stationery store, about our new sign. We can tell everyone about Mr. Nakamura. And Eve and Mark and Miss Bing did just that. Soon, Mr. Nakamura had more work than hours in a day, and Mark and his dad didn't have to move. Hooray! Sang Eve when Mark told her news. Race you to the school. And soon they reached it together. Thank you very much for joining me today in reading We Belong Here by Frieda Wishinsky. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.